So guys, today I'm going to show you all of the remodeled skin and Piggy and all the update skin in Piggy. And first up, I will let you also watch Crickcraft later, because if you love Crickcraft, like and subscribe to Crickcraft. If you love Crickcraft, like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell if you love Crickcraft and if you're a fan of it. And here is the first one, Piggy. Piggy just changed a lot. Her texture and her color, of course, and also a little better. And then mother, she has a flower, and father has hat. Grandmother, Sheepy, Pandy, teacher, Kitty, and then Mimi, Biggie book to skin, just remodeled, yeah. Daisy, Pony, Doggy, Giraffey, Berry, Foxy, Ellie, Bunny, and so Mousy and Zizzy. I'll show you later Zizzy, because Zizzy, like, yeah, Billy, and that's all. That's all. If you want to watch Crickcraft, then yeah, here we go. Here it is in 3, 2. Yep,
we've got the original Piggy skin. This is a redesign of the original Piggy skin. Pretty much everything about it looks the same, except a few colors are modified. It looks a little bit brighter. The pink looks a little bit brighter, a little bit more like an actual pig. And then the color dress, the actual dress, is a little bit darker. It's not that bright red that it used to be, and it actually has a little bit of like tatteredness at the bottom. It looks a little bit dirty, kind of like it's been rolling around in mud, or it's been, like, you know, in the dirt before, like it hasn't, you know, washed in a while, which, you know, would make sense. It's got the same jump scare animation and everything, so nothing there has changed. Actually, all of these have the exact same jump scare animation. It's just the overall look of the skin has changed, but that's the OG Piggy. Let's move on to the next one. So just like with the OG Piggy, we've got the little brother Piggy, and again, not much has really changed here. It does look like the skin is a little bit brighter, although maybe that's just me. You guys can let me know. And then, of course, the actual shirt, dress, I'm guessing it's a dress. It's a little bit of a different shade of blue. Kind of looks like a curtain, like a blue curtain, actually. And of course, you've got the tatterness at the bottom, and it's a little bit dirty as well. Overall, not really too much different here. Next up, we've got the mother skin. Now, the mother skin actually has changed quite a bit. First off, the dress is now purple. You've got the, you know, the dirty dress. Pretty much all of these now look a little bit dirty and tattered. And then at the top, you actually have a little flower. She's got a little flower on her head. No hair, though, but a little bit of flower. Honestly, I really like this redesign. I think Mother went from one of my least favorite skins to actually being a pretty cool skin. I actually like this quite a bit. You guys can let me know which one of these redesigns is your favorite down below, of course. And next up, we have the biggest change so far. That is the father pig. Well, he is now green, as you can tell. He has a green dress, and of course, he's wearing a green beret, which is actually really interesting. Typically, people who wear berets are either French, which Minitoon is partly French, so that might be it, or they were in the army. So it's possible that maybe father was in the army before. Maybe that's a little hint as to his backstory. That's kind of cool if so. But again, I really like this skin. I think it's a lot better than it was before, and I like the addition of the hat. Gives it a little bit more character. Moving on to the next skin, though, we have the grandma skin, keeping it in the family. This is once again a little bit of a darker blue, darker purple. It was pink before. It is no longer like that. And grandma is now wearing a little granny hat. I don't really know what else to call it. It's kind of like the stereotypical granny hat that you see grandmas wearing in movies and TV shows and all that. Again, same jump scare and everything, but it looks a little bit different. Now, this next one is where things really start to change, and that is Sheepy. Just for comparison, here is a picture of the old Sheepy. This was actually one of my least favorite skins in the entire game before. I just think it looked kind of bad, but this new Sheepy redesign is great. First off, the colors have changed. It's that dark blue dress. She actually has full-on sheep hair now, which looks amazing. The eyes are red, and I'm not sure if it's the new graphics update that Roblox recently released, or if it's just, you know, me going crazy, but the shadowing and everything on the skin does look a little bit more high definition. It looks a lot better in my opinion. This is actually now one of my favorite skins of the game. It just looks super, super good. I love the hair on Sheepy. Next up, we have Pandy. Now, Pandy's another skin that I didn't really use that much, and honestly, it hasn't changed too much. The bamboo is a little bit different, and the actual dress is a little bit of a different green, but other than that, hasn't really changed that much. Not really one of my favorite skins, to be honest with you. It looks cool, but I probably won't be using it too much, but yeah, there's the Pandy skin. Now, Now, next up, we have Teacher. Now, Teacher has had a pretty dramatic redesign. I'll put the old Teacher up on the screen for you guys. But this new Teacher is, first off, wearing a different color dress. All right, a little bit of a darker green there. And then, of course, the actual skin color is a lot different now as well. I believe Teacher is actually an antelope, so it actually looks, or she actually looks like an antelope now. You've got the glasses, you've got the horns. It looks good. I actually like this a lot better than the previous one. I think it's one of the better redesigns that Minitoon has done so far. Now, next up, we have Kitty from Kitty's Kitchen. I believe this also affects the TSP version. I could be wrong, though, but we've got the pink dress, a little bit of a darker pink dress here, and the overall skin, again, looks a little bit darker, a little bit more refined, a little bit more high definition compared to how it was before. Jump scare and everything, of course, still the same. I like it. It looks good. Let's move on to the next one. So here we are with Daisy. Now, Daisy was kind of a pretty basic skin before, and she's still a pretty basic skin. The dress color has just changed. She is now wearing a red dress. I believe, what color was she wearing before? Purple? Anyway, she's wearing a red dress now, and everything other than that seems to be the same. It's just she's wearing a red now. Let's move on to the next one. Now, next up, we have Barry. Barry has changed a lot. Barry is now wearing a full-on surgeon's outfit, doctor's outfit. You know, when you go to the hospital, you have the blue gown on that most of the nurses, most of the doctors are wearing. And then, of course, if you're going into surgery or it's like a, full-on like doctor, then they're normally wearing the doctor white coat as well. That's what Barry has on now. He's got the blue gown on because, of course, it's a hospital, and then he's also got the doctor gown on as well. I like this a lot better. I think it fits the hospital theme a little bit better than the old one did. And, of course, I don't want Minitoon getting sued, so I like it. It looks good. Now, Foxy here is another skin that has had a dramatic redesign. We got a full-on foxtail now, and he is now wearing a black hoodie. This was actually something that was voted on by the community. He's wearing a black hoodie, and he's got some blue jeans on. So he looks like a normal teenager, what they would probably wear, just a hoodie and some jeans. I actually really like this skin now, and I'll probably start using it a lot more, simply because now that the graphics is updated and there's a lot of shadows in the game, simply because he's wearing pretty much a pitch black shirt here. If he hides in the darkness, it might be a little bit harder to see him, so it could be a nice little camouflage trick. Anyway, though, let's move on to the next one, which is Ellie. This one is, again, a lot different. We've got the pink dress, we've got the purple shoes, and she's wearing a little top hat, it looks like. We've got like a top, I'm not really sure what that is, kind of like a British little miniature top hat. I also think the spear has had a little update too. The blue lines on it, I don't think were there before. I could be wrong, but I don't think they were there before. There's a lot of skins, so it's hard to remember everything. And then finally, we've got Mousy. This was another one that you guys voted on. We've got the red dress. She's still got on Robbie's legs, and she now has a red bow tie, a little red bow right up on her head. I think the skin is now pretty cute, and I'm probably going to start using it a lot more. Again, though, I want to reiterate, none of the jump scares has changed. Everything besides the looks has remained the skin. So the first new skin redesigned as part of Wave 2 is actually Doggy, and Doggy, not much has really changed. The only real things different with Doggy is the cheeks are no longer there. His shirt and his pants are a slightly different shade of purple, and his shirt doesn't really have sleeves on it. It's got a little bit of sleeves, but it's more of a muscle shirt rather than a long sleeve or a short sleeve t-shirt. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but the texture on the axe also seems to be a little bit more high definition, a little bit more HD. I don't know if that's just me. You can let me know down in the comments section. I also want to say that all of these skins we're going to be talking about, with the exception of the very last one, has the exact same animation, the exact same song, and the exact same jump scare. Just the aesthetics, the looks has changed. Anyway, moving on to Bunny. Bunny has actually seen quite a bit of change. First off, the actual texture and the actual skin seems to be a little bit more softened, a little bit more smooth. It's not made out of the glass texture anymore on Roblox. It's, I think, like plastic or something now. So because of that, it looks a lot better in the lighting with the shadows, and of course, you can see the cheeks are a little bit different. They're no longer bright red. They're a little bit smaller, and the outfit has completely changed. She's now wearing a white dress with kind of gray shoes, kind of gray-white shoes. Personally, I think this one actually looks a lot better than the old one. I like the Doggy one. I like the Bunny one so far. You guys can let me know which ones you like the best down in the comment section. Now, next up, we have Mimi, and Mimi has completely changed. This is essentially the Book 2 version of Mimi, except with infected eyes. If you've played Book 2, you know that Mimi looks a lot different than in Book 1, and this is essentially that version. I like it a lot better. It's a lot more detailed. There's a lot more things going on here. She's got the mole goggles going on. She's got the pickaxe, the scarf. I think this is actually one of my favorite skins now. I went from my least favorite, one of my least favorite, to now one of my favorites. It's really, really nice. And it's the same story for Giraffey. It's literally just his Book 2 version put into Book 1, and of course the eyes have been made infected. He's got the purple shirt on, the purple hat, the blue pants. Not too much has really changed here. It's just the Book 2 version. And next up, we have our fan favorite favorite character is Zizzy. And real quick, before I say what's different, I want you guys to take a good look and see if you guys can notice the difference. What is different about Zizzy here? First off, not much. The only thing that's changed is the cheeks have been removed. There are no longer cheeks on Zizzy. I've studied this thing up and down. The only thing that I've noticed is that there may be more that I'm missing, but as far as I can tell, everything else is the same except the cheeks. No, with Pony, it's just like with Mimi and Giraffey. It's essentially his book 2 version put into book 1, and then the infected eyes put on top of that. So he's got his green jacket on with the orange shirt underneath, the blue jeans, he's got the beanie on, the glasses, and of course the wooden sword. Can we get an F in the chat for the Arthur lookalike? The Arthur lookalike Pony skin is officially gone. We're never gonna see it again. It's over. That's it. Because these models are also replacing all the models in the game, in the cutscenes, and all of that. So it's a completely different experience now. Now, next up we have Georgie and Mr. P. George has actually had his name changed from George to Georgie. I don't know if you noticed that. And then Mr. P is he's now a purple potato. There are purple potatoes. He is one of them, and he looks completely different. Georgie, again, just has his book 2 version put into book 1, so that's pretty much the exact same as book 2. Mr. P, on the other hand, is completely different. He no longer has his cowboy hat. He has his suit on. He's got Mrs. P's flower on top of his hat. And I mean, to be fair, pretty much everything about Mr. P has changed. Personally, I think this one's pretty good. I do kind of miss the old one, but I understand why he had to change it. He didn't want to get sued. Didn't really have a choice. I like it. I think it's pretty good. The mustache makes him look like a villain, like one of those, yes, make sure to subscribe. Oh, yes. Now for the grand finale, we have the Billy skin. The Billy skin has been completely redesigned from the ground up. Brand new animation, brand new jump scare, brown, not brown. I mean, he is brown, but brand new everything, literally everything. He looks great. Like, I don't even know where to begin. He's a buff bull with piercings. His eyes are blue. He's got the beanie. He's jacked. He's got the weights on his arm. He sounds different when he walks. Billy is a beast. In fact, I'm just gonna let the video play. I think Billy has went from, once again, one of my least favorite skins to now one of my favorite skins. This thing looks amazing.